Hey guys, it's Kawaii Cute and Snow Bunny.
Hey!
And today we are making a Baby Alive sleeping mask. So let's get started. Okay, so to start you need a sock if you are doing this too. We picked out this panda and rainbow one. Okay, so next we need scissors, of course. Preferably fabric scissors or any scissors that work to cut fabric. Some string, and of course, hole puncher. And of course, a Baby Alive to use to measure. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to set our Baby Alive over here. There we go. Okay, now we are going to, actually I do need her over here. Okay, so I'm measure it on her face. Okay, so you want to feel it to make sure that it fits over her eyes. Next, you want to kind of outline where does her, okay, so her eye ends right there. So I want to make it a bit longer than where her eye ends. There. There we go. Okay, so then make it just like this. There we go. Amanda may end up cutting some off the bottom just so it doesn't go over her nose, but for now that's a good shape. Next, we're gonna move her out of the way because we don't need her until the end. Next, we're gonna take our scissors and cut out our shape. And if you do cut both sides of the sock, then you can make two, or you can put them both together and make it in a thicker sleeping mask. We are probably going to make two out of this, but you can do whatever you want with it, of course. Okay. You just gotta make sure that the underneath piece of the sock never gets folded, because then you could accidentally, like if you're making a second one, then you could accidentally cut it wrong, and that would not be good. There we go. Now I'm just gonna go back and trim up the edges. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now. Now I want to measure it on our doll to make sure that it still fits. Okay, so it is a bit smaller than I would like it to be, but it is a stretchy fabric, so we can make it work. Next, you want to hole punch your fabric on the ends to make the holes for the string or elastic. If you use string, you want to make it longer so that you can, because string isn't as stretchy, is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have a hole punch, you can also take a marker. It doesn't matter what color, just a marker, and draw a little circle where you want it. Try to keep it a little bit away from the edge, because if your string is too heavy, it will rip the edge, and you don't want that, because then your sleeping mask will no longer work. Then you're going to take your scissors and carefully cut the hole. Or the slit. Doesn't have to be a hole. There we go. Now I'm gonna do the same in the other side. You don't have to use the marker, like I'm not using the marker right now. Or There we go. You just need a tiny little slit or hole in each side. Then you're going to take your string. I'm going to have to cut this because it's tied. There we go. Now I might end up using a different piece of string because this one has ties. Oh, okay. That just came apart. This should be good. Let's see. It can fit around her entire head, and we only need it to fit around half her head. So that will work perfectly. So then you're gonna tie your string around the hole, like kind of. Like you're gonna put it through the hole and then tie it. You wanna make sure it's tight, and if you do cut the end of the string because it's really long, just be careful not to cut it too short because if you do, it will come untied. There we go. Perfect. I will cut that maybe in a minute. But make sure to bring your string around the back side because if you bring it around the front side, then you will have like this like stringy, not so pretty side on the front. Wait, oops, okay. Well, before I tie that, I do want to measure to see if we need to cut the string or not. Oops, I have that upside down. That's okay. So I'm gonna cut it. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it because it's a pretty good length and I want to have length to tie it. So I will cut it after I tie it. Don't want it to be too big though. So let's try that length around her head and see if it can stretch around her head. Okay, that's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna pull it a bit tighter. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Now I'm gonna tie it. Oops, I see, I put it in backwards. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna tie it. Where did it? Oh, okay. Now, like I said, if you're using string, you want to get it like the perfect length because if it's too big, then you're stuck with it being too big. If it's too small, then it doesn't really work. I'm gonna cut it to about there just so that it doesn't come untied. And the other side I'm cutting a bit shorter just to get rid of the stringy ends. Now we're gonna bring Kelsey back over here and try this on her now. This time I want to put it on the right way if possible. Okay. There we go. I think I got the string a perfect length. Now because it is a sock, it's going to curl over a little bit. So I'm going to trim it a little bit now that it's actually on her. But you want to be very careful so you don't give her any scuffs or cuts or anything. Or him. And you want to be careful if you're working with their, like if you're working near their hair too. You want to be super careful so you don't accidentally cut their hair. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna cut this little piece right here. And I think our sleeping mask is about done. Now, if you want to, you can draw like a face on it where I felt details to make like a unicorn or something. You don't have to. I don't think we are going to. I think we're just going to leave it like this. Now, I do want to carefully cut around her nose to make it fit and look a little bit better. Now, when you do this, the sides that cover the eyes are going to curl up a little bit, how that one side over there is doing. But you can always fix that. Now I'm going to pull a little bit up a little bit because I don't want to cut off too much because then it won't fit quite right. There we go. Now mine just keeps curling over, and that's okay. There are ways to fix that, but it's fine for now. I'm okay with it. So there we go. Thank you guys for watching this video. That's all for now. Bye guys.